What the mind doesn't know, the eye cannot see. Yes?
Mike, adjust your mic.
Can you hear?
Little bit,
Clear?
Yeah.
We have various grades of varus, yes? From small, medium, large to grotesque varus, with the mechanical axis deviation being small, moderate, major, and very severe and grotesque. What we need to do is to categorize deformities. We are not just scopy surgeons and plastic surgeons, we are deformity surgeons too. So when we categorize, the primary deformity we all know is the coronal plane varus, which we measure by MAD, the mechanical axis deviation, the MLDFA, the MPTA, the hip-knee ankle angle, and the HKA. But given the fact that the MLDFA is normal in this scenario in a 65-year-old man, that means there is no deformity in the femur. There can be only two sources of deformity, either in the upper tibia or the knee joint. If it's in the upper tibia, and you correct this large deformity, you will end up with a MPTA greater than 95, which will give rise to knee joint line orientation problems, future problems with arthroplasty. If it's in the knee joint, and you plan on doing a UKR like my learned colleagues will, bone on bone is unlikely without the presence of capsulo-ligamentous laxity. And you do not always find anteromedial osteoarthritis. There's something known as posteromedial osteoarthritis. So again, what the mind doesn't know, the eye cannot see. What we don't know and what we haven't seen so far, the entire orthopedic fraternity is the secondary deformity or the intra-articular bony deformity, which is measured by two parameters. One is the joint line convergence angle, which is misrepresented in the European literature. It cannot be compensated by medial opening wedge. And the condylar plateau angle, which is in its extreme form, is the pagoda tibia, which is seen very commonly in Blount's disease in children in a very exaggerated manner, but very much seen in adults in a subtle way, which we are missing. All my friend is talking about, these capital friends of mine, are the extra-articular high tibial osteotomies of various types, where the postulate is that the mechanical axis alignment is the most important. But that's outdated. Alignment, like the location of business literature is outdated. Now we have the intra-articular high tibial osteotomy, the TCVO, either combined with an opening wedge like Raghu showed today, or the newest one called the FDC, or the focal dome condylar. It's a paradigm shift. Shift your mind, shift your perception. The theorem is that congruent contact and stability of the joint are more important. So you have intra-articular deformity, incongruity, and instability. This is degenerative instability. I'm sorry to tell you, my arthroscopy friends, it's not your traumatic instability. It is degenerative, slowly progressive instability. How do you recognize this? Clinically, by the lateral thrust, by the mediolateral laxity recorded on the C-arm and on the table under anesthesia, which is exaggerated. How to recognize radiologically when you have an increased MAD, increased JLCA, increased CPA. This is again to repeat the condylar plateau angle. So the treatment is the tibial condylar valgus osteotomy. The literature is very sparse because it came to India only 10 years ago. I had the privilege to bring it. And this is when we perform the TCVO, when you have small to moderate varus and intra-articular component of the deformity. So this should show you a brief glimpse of how it should look like. Can you press? Yeah. Sorry. Can you run this? Yeah.
Please run the video.
So it's a teeter-totter. It's an L-shaped osteotomy which elevates the medial tibial condyle, okay? And it reduces the teeter-totter to a dramatic extent. Medial opening wedge only transfers the weight, but TCVO gives simultaneous congruent contact. It increases the weight-bearing area. It reduces the pressure on the joint because both the femoral and tibial condyles make simultaneous contact. Many such examples. Most are, of course, women, but even in males, you can do this. This is the intra-articular osteotomy, which reduces, the joint contact pressures. Sometimes when you're not...
30 seconds.
When you're not able to correct the entire overall deformity, you can add a second osteotomy. You can do this with the Ilizarov as well. This will take time, but I'll show you when you have all these deformities. So you take a gentleman like this, 65, with a large deformity, doesn't want a femur. You can combine the TCVO with a second osteotomy. Raghu showed excellent opening wedge, but with a focal dome distally, you can correct a large mechanical axis and get a very long-term result. Thank you.